Hey all, this is a Dave from Tanked Up Life with an update on my 3-gallon Nano shrimp tank. That is a baby shrimp, which I am very happy to see. Um, Tank was moved to my bedroom. It's doing pretty good. Just recently did a water change, and I think I've got about 8 shrimp in here. Orange pumpkin, neocardina shrimp. There's one there. There's one in the moss on the back. They're kind of scattered around. Let's see, there's one in the back over there. There's one up, a couple on the plants in here. Another one there. There's one swimming around. Yeah, tank is doing pretty good. Filter's working out. The light is good. There was some algae buildup, which I kind of blamed on. I watched a video about, shrimp really want stability. So one of the tests was to not change the water and just top it off. But that did lead to some algae growing on the top of the Java moss, which is attached to the driftwood, which I don't know if you can kind of see. I pulled a lot of it off, but there is still some up there on the moss. So I also moved the lighting. I put the light more in the center of the tank. It was kind of tilted more towards the back because I wanted to make sure that the moss would grow, because initially it kind of turned brown. But as you can see, the moss is looking great now. It's spreading out. It's green, healthy. Overall, the plants are doing pretty good. I did for the first time put some fertilizer in this tank, because this is just pure sand substrate. There is nothing in here to feed the plants, with the exception of the fish food and waste. So that being said, although these plants are looking good, I just feel like they could be a little greener. They're looking a little brown to me, like this moss plant here, which is still growing, but I just see a little bit of a brown on the leaves. Wow, you see the shrimp are really pretty much everywhere. Anyway, so I put some API plant fertilizer in here, and we'll see what happens. I also did put a little a little Seachem Flourish Excel, which is a really good algicide. Kind of keeps the algae in check. This is a very small tank, and you have to put such a small amount in there. Otherwise you can overdose it. Let's see, we got some more shrimp here on the plants. This plant is looking fantastic. So yeah, so anyway, it's coming along. You can see that the shrimp are growing. I've got some babies. And just really looking forward to eventually moving some of these shrimp into my larger tanks. But again, this is very simple. It's a 3-gallon rimless that I bought at. I believe I bought it at Petco. It was on sale. Once in a while, they have 50% off all tanks. So that was affordable. This filter is a very inexpensive slimline filter from Amazon. I think it cost $12. This light was like a $13 light, also from Amazon. And the sand is UN Systems sand, which is probably the most expensive part of the whole project. The plants, most of them were clippings from my other tanks. I did buy this plant at Petco, but yeah, otherwise, I think it's doing pretty well. We've got some leaves here for some biofilm. Botanicals. And the shrimp are definitely thriving. I've got some nano fish in here too, as you can see. There's 6 nano fish. Because you need something to keep the cycle going. Shrimp give off such a small amount of waste, a very, very light bioload, that you could actually have a tank crash, because there's just not enough ammonia being given off from the waste of the shrimp. So at least my understanding is it's good to have some fish in here. Wow, look at that. That shrimp's going berserko. So I think I have 2 females and 4 males of those fish. But yeah, it's coming along really nicely. This is Wonder Shell. If anybody hasn't used Wonder Shell, highly recommend. if you have shrimp. Shrimp need calcium to molt and grow their new shells. I guess you can call it a shell. Their exoskeleton. So Wonder Shell, even though I do have hard water, I don't really know, the mineral content as far as calcium goes. So Wonder Shell is pretty amazing. This is a small Wonder Shell. It's supposed to look like a shell. And that will slowly dissolve into the water to give shrimp needed calcium. It's supposed to also clarify the water. I don't know if it does or doesn't. But yeah, listen, very easy to set something like this up. So I don't know, initially I'm not planning on like breeding shrimp to sell them. I really just wanted to crank out some orange shrimp, and it just drives me crazy how much shrimp cost in the aquarium store. When shrimp basically just will breed given the right conditions. So these obviously are already breeding. We just saw a little baby. So hopefully I have a lot of shrimplets, and I can start moving them into my other tanks. For example, this is my 10-gallon angled view. Now this does have 2 or 3. Well, it's got one orange shrimp. He's on the rock there. He's got a couple. I think I got 2 cherry shrimp, and I have 3 juvenile Amano shrimp. But I would definitely like to put more shrimp in this tank. And then I also have a 30-gallon bow front, which already has a good amount of cherry shrimp that I'm multiplying. But I don't know. You can never have enough, too many shrimp. So I'm thinking the orange shrimp from this tank, some of them will slowly end up going into this tank. Anyway, so that's my my update on my 3-gallon Nano shrimp tank. Again, just a very simple aquascape. It's a piece of driftwood and some plants and just pure sand. And if you see, look at all the shrimp now gathering around the Wonder Shell. Okay, to get any needed calcium. Look at this big guy. Is that a female? Maybe with eggs. But yeah, give the right conditions to shrimp and they will breed and prosper. And they're just fascinating to watch, in action. They're just very active. So anyway, I've got a Fluval 5-gallon coming today, UPS. I initially was going to break this tank down and move it to the 5-gallon just because I really like the built-in filtration versus, this little filter is working very, very well, and it's tiny. But I'm just like big on a lot of filtration. I would love to put some Purigen in this tank because the water just does get dark very fast from this driftwood is just leaching like crazy. But I know that that dark water, the botanicals, is supposed to be good for the fish and good for the shrimp anyway. So now I don't know what I'm going to do with it's a Fluval Spec 5 coming in white. I was able to get it in white. I bought some more UN Systems Contra Sand and UN Systems, which is this sand here, which needs no rinsing. It's amazing. You basically just put it in and fill up the tank, and there's not an ounce of dust. And I also bought the UN Systems Plant Substrate, which that is actually in this tank, and this is the same UN Contra Sand, but that's under the sand in this tank. So because I knew I was going with plants here, the entire center has the plant substrate from UN Systems. I forgot what it's called, and then that's all covered in the sand. So we'll see. I'm going to do another video on the Fluval Spec 5. Still, again, haven't figured out what exactly I'm going to put in there because now I'm up to, let's see, 1, 2, 4 aquariums, but I don't know. You just can never have enough aquariums. I think that when I see a tank like this and the water looks good and the fish are healthy and the shrimp are healthy, it just relaxes me. It cheers me up, makes me happy. That's kind of why we're in this hobby, right? To basically create a little ecosystem for these little animals, little fish, and and just enjoy watching them do their thing. Very relaxing. Sometimes I'll just sit here. I'll just stand here. Now that tank is in here, it's much more close to eye level. I'll just stand in here and just watch. Look at all the activity between the fish, the shrimp. I'm tempted to possibly put some pygmy corridors in here. I do have about 8 in my other tank, but I'm just worried about. I don't think they'll eat the shrimplets. I know there's plenty of hiding spaces here with the moss, but I am a little bit afraid. I know pygmy cories are very friendly little fish, but we'll see. I do have unfortunately some pest snails in here, but like I said before, there's some on the glass. Here's a big one on the back. When they get near the top, sometimes I'll pick them out, but I know they're not really detrimental. It's really just the look of it. I don't like, especially when you turn the lights on, there just seems to be, they all come out at night. But, at the end of the day, they're turning over the sand, and they're eating algae, and they're eating detritus, and they're part of the tank's ecosystem. So, well, I deal with them as they come. Probably every day I throw 3 or 4 shrimp. 3 or 4 snails out once they start getting big. Anyway, that's my update on my 3-gallon Nano shrimp tank. And when I get the fluval, again, it's coming today. I don't know when I'm going to set it up. I'm waiting for some more of that UN contra sand and the plant substrate, and then I need to get some kind of piece of driftwood. I think I already have some hardscape, some rocks. Just not sure where I'm going with that tank yet. So when I do set it up, though, I will video it. Thanks all.